Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful morning it is here. So I got drug out of bed pretty early this morning by Sven. He said there's a lot of work to do and Vladimir hasn't come back yet. So I'm going to help him out. He wants me to go cultivate his largest field, which we kind of saw last night. And then we'll kind of go from there. He's going to work on planting some other fields, I think. So I went back through and I reviewed the video from last night and yesterday and realized that in my haste to and excitement, I guess, to start my new life and help the family out here, I didn't introduce myself formally. And honestly, I'm not very comfortable doing that right now either. I don't want to give away too much just yet. I think some of these people that are looking for me, not very good people, so I don't necessarily want to give away too much information just yet. So for now, you can call me John, and we'll go with that. This morning, I had another great one-way conversation with Sven. It seems as though where I filled up the water trailer yesterday is a place where he gets charged money to use that water, and he would have much rather me used his free water source. So I had to pay him back some money for that. He obviously wasn't too happy. He understands the mistake, but he wasn't very happy about getting a phone call saying that he was going to have to owe money for that water, and honestly, I'm not very happy for having to give him money for it. He wasn't really very specific, but I'm not going to argue with him because they're taking care of me, and I'm going to, like I said a lot yesterday, I'm doing what I can to help these guys out. So for now, I'm going to go jump in the same tractor that I was using yesterday. I'm going to head over to that biggest field that Sven has, and we'll get started. I fell asleep pretty quick last night. I obviously was exhausted from traveling here and the hard day of work that I put in yesterday. And so I fell asleep pretty early. When Sven came back late last night from planting a couple fields, he got one field put in. He put wheat in one field and barley in another. And before he came and called it a night, it was pretty late. I was obviously asleep. But he didn't hesitate to wake me up early this morning after a great breakfast that Olga made for us. That we're actually getting a little bit later start than what he wanted to, but the sun's coming up kind of late. So, but that's okay. We're going to head over to this field and we'll get it cultivated for him. Okay, here's the field that he wants us to work today. As you can tell, it's a fairly large field, so this might take a little while. But we'll get it started and see what we can get done for him. You know, I was really hoping to get in the tractor with Sven today and maybe learn how to do some planting, but it doesn't really look like that's going to happen. Like I said earlier, Vladimir hasn't come back. Otherwise, he would be doing this. But such is life. We'll get it done, and hopefully we'll get done in time before Sven gets done planting, and maybe we can learn something new. Looks like Sven's got out there with the planting machine. I wonder what he's putting in the ground on that field. be interesting to find out. That job looks a lot more exciting than running this cultivator and just dragging it behind us, but this is what he wants me to do, so this is what I'm gonna do for him. I tell you what, after a little over a day of helping Sven and Olga around their farm, I definitely have a new appreciation for the life that farmers live and the dedication that they have. They put in a lot of hard work, and you can tell, judging by their house and the buildings around it, that they don't necessarily get paid a whole lot of money. So I have a newfound respect for them, and definitely appreciate the work that farmers do to allow us to be able to eat and have a lot of the things that we have. I think Sven said he wants to put corn on this field. I think that's his, he said something about rotating crops. I'm not exactly sure why or that is or how that works, but I think he said corn was going on this one this year. Well, he didn't look too happy about me watching him, so I'm gonna get back to work. I get the feeling that he has little patience for people wasting time. I can't imagine what's gonna happen when Vladimir comes back. That's gonna be a great conversation, I'm sure. We made some pretty good progress on this field so far. I'd like to get it done so that I can move on to something else, but I knew this was going to be a big project when we undertook it this morning, but I guess I underestimated how long it was actually going to take. Still not even done. I got this section down here I got to finish up, and then there's still some to the north. Right by the trees over there that I got to take care of as well. But we'll get her done, and hopefully we can get it done, or at least far enough ahead where when Sven brings the planter over here, he can just keep working instead of having to wait for us. That's kind of my goal right now, is just make sure that we're far enough ahead of him so that he doesn't have to slow down. Looks like he's taking a break. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly if he's done with the field or what the deal is with that. It looks like he's done with the field, but it also looks like he might be out taking a look at something on the tractor. I would go over there and help, but I don't have any mechanical ability whatsoever. which would lead one to ask, why would I choose a farm? And like I said yesterday, I'm just not prepared to tell that story yet. Maybe here soon. I gotta talk to a couple of my contacts here in country and see if they think it's okay that I am able to reveal why I'm here and how I got here. And so I'll try to talk to them later today maybe and see what they say. It's a story that I kind of would like to share, but I got to make sure that I'm safe, and now I got to make sure also that Sven and his family are safe as well, because just me being here kind of puts them in a little bit of danger. So trust me, they're being well compensated for it, so it's not a huge deal to them. Relatively safe out here in the middle of nowhere, but well, Sven's still sitting there. I think when I get down here at the end of this pass, I'm gonna walk over there and see if he needs any help. With as impatient as he can be at times, or at least that's the aura that he gives off, I'm surprised he's still sitting there. Alright, I'm gonna leave this here for now and walk over here and see if he needs any help. Well, that's strange. Huh. I wonder where he went. I don't see anybody around. Huh. That's really interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure where he went. Huh? Oh well. I better get back to work, because if he finds out that I'm not in the tractor working, he's going to be mighty upset. That's really weird, though. I don't know where he went. Oh well. Well, back to work I am. Well, Sven is gone. I don't know what happened there. I guess I'll have to... No, I won't even ask. It's none of my business what he was doing. But I guess he finished up that field with the sugar beets. Not sure where he is right now, but we're still going hard on this field here. Still going strong. Oh, there he is. Guess I missed a couple spots here. I gotta come clean him up before he notices. I guess I did get far enough ahead that he's able to start planting corn up here. That's good. Now I just have to stay far enough ahead, not let him get caught up too much. Well, this is kind of cool. We got 2 people working in the same field now. I'm trying to get this cultivating finished up, and he said he was going to be planting corn on this field, so that's what he's doing there. It's going to be quite a bit of corn, so I don't know what the plan is. I know the pigs are going to need some of it, but I don't know what the plan is, if he stores it and sells it, or what he does. 'Cause I can't imagine that the pigs are going to need this much corn. But, I mean, what do I know? Obviously nothing. I don't know anything about any of this life, so still learning as we go, and hopefully I'll learn a lot from him. Well, there's Sven over there. Hopefully he's not catching up too quickly. It looks like he slowed down a little bit just to let me keep pace. So hopefully we'll finish up this little corner, slide up to the northern end of the field there, and continue on up there while he's planting think it's corn, pretty sure. Well, it's starting to almost be lunchtime, but I think I'm gonna keep working through lunch instead of taking a break just to get this field done. I know Sven wants to get this corn in the ground, and he can't do that unless I finish cultivating the field first. So I think I'm just gonna keep working. I'm sure that'll impress him a little bit, or at least make a little bit of an impression. That's good. So keep going through lunch. From talking to them yesterday during lunch, Olga doesn't usually even start making anything until she knows for sure that anybody's going to be there to eat, because there's multiple times that Sven and Vladimir both will work through lunch just to kind of keep things going. They don't really have any vehicles other than that one truck that they have to haul their grain. So if they had a smaller truck or something, then maybe Olga could bring lunch out to us, but she's not going to get in that or into a tractor just to bring us lunch. So I'm glad she made a big breakfast, and hopefully we'll get a decent dinner out of it. But for now, we're going to continue working, at least until this field is done. Alright, well that finishes up this end of the field. I gotta swing up to the northern end up there, get that done, and we'll be done with this field for now. Not sure if there's anything else left to do. I don't remember if there's any other fields that that Sven needs cultivated or not, but right now that's the only stuff that I know how to do is fertilize and cultivate, so be kind of useless for a little while unless he teaches me something else. But we still got some time left to get this field finished, so we'll swing up here, finish up this northern end, and see what else he needs me to do. You know, I was just thinking that it'd be really nice if the tractors had some sort of stereo, or I had an iPod or something that I could listen to some music with. But it would definitely make the time out here in the fields go a lot faster. It would be a lot more interesting than just looking at the same trees or the same dirt over and over. Maybe with the money that Sven and Olga are getting to house me, they can upgrade their tractors to something a little more luxurious. Or maybe it's just me living in the city for so long and I just don't know what it's like to not have that stuff anymore. But we'll see. For now, we deal with what we've got. Really, to be honest, I probably need to just focus on driving the tractor anyway, since I'm still really new at this. So. Well, it looks like Sven stopped there again. That's the second time I've seen him just stop. I wonder if he's having issues with that tractor. I'm gonna keep going and see what's going on. Oh, you know what? He's getting out, checking that planting machine to see if he's empty. That might be what's wrong. He might need some more seeds. Well, it looks like Sven got back from refilling the seed tank. He's back at it again. That also allowed us a little bit more time to make sure that we're plenty far ahead of him, so shouldn't be any issue with us getting done before him, so that there's plenty of field cultivated for him to keep planting. He won't ever even have to slow down other than to keep refilling the seed tank. And that's good. That's kind of what my goal was, just to make sure I stayed far enough ahead of him that he didn't have to wait for me. So looks like I missed a bunch in that last pass. Fix that right now. This is going to be the last pass on this field, and then I'm going to have to figure out what to do next. Pretty sure that's all the cultivating that needs to be done, so I guess I'll slide down here and see what Sven has for me. It doesn't look like he... I was hoping to catch him down here and have him stop so he could figure it out. I guess I'll meet him down at the other end of the field. I think I can beat him down there even if I go around. It'll be close. Kind of racing tractors right now just to try and beat him down to the other end of this field so that I can stop and talk to him, see what else is next, and kind of go from there. I don't know what the plan's going to be. I think that all that he has left to do right now is finish planting this in corn, and then I don't know. Look at that for timing. Perfect. I'll have a little chat with Sven and see what the plan is for the rest of this field and what else he needs me to do. But I think the cultivating is done, so we'll see. Okay, so I talked to Sven, and the plan is I'm going to ride along with him for the rest of this field. Still got to clean up these end rows here. But I'm going to ride with him. He's going to kind of teach me how to use this planting machine. And I don't think he trusts me enough to let me run it by myself yet, but he's at least going to show me how to use it. Maybe sometime in the near future. Alright, we're off. It doesn't seem like this is too complicated. Kind of just lower it down, turn it on, and just drag it behind you. The hard part is making sure that your rows are lined up, especially when you're planting a row crop like corn. This is from what he's telling me. But you got to make sure that your rows are lined up and even, so that when you come harvest it, you're not running anything over while you're harvesting. The wheels for the harvester can go in between the rows if you need to. But I don't know. That's just kind of what he's told me about and what I've learned. So we're gonna ride with him for the rest of the day, or at least until this field is done, and kind of go from there. Alright, well, riding around in the tractor here and having a little discussion with Sven, we came up with a better plan. He's kind of showed me how to use this. I know the basics, and just learning how to do it will take a lot more time than what I have right now. Actually, I got plenty of time, but what we decided is he's going to continue planning, and I am going to take that other tractor back to the house, pick up lunch from Olga, and then we're going to, I'll bring it back. Him and I'll grab a quick bite to eat before we finish this field. Kind of makes sense. There's a little more teamwork action going on there, as opposed to both of us just riding around in this tractor. So gonna let him get turned around and get started, and then I'm gonna run back. I'm gonna run back to the farm and get us some lunch. Talked about yesterday, I'm not gonna leave this tractor in the middle of the farmyard. Even though Sven's not here to see it, I learned my lesson yesterday, so we'll park it over here out of the way. Head inside and see what's for lunch. Just as Olga was wrapping up making sandwiches and some nice tea for us, Sven rolled up in the tractor. His seeder or planting machine, drill, whatever you want to call it, is empty again. He had to come back and get that filled up. So we grabbed a bite to eat, and I'm going to ride with him as he fills this up, and we're going to go back out to the field and keep planting the corn that he's got going on in that big field. So, but first we got to go get it filled up with some more seeds. It's kind of unfortunate that the seed tank on this is pretty small, but that's the one he decided to go with. The size of the seeder kind of fits most of the fields, just not this big one. So we'll help him get loaded up here with some new seeds, and we'll head back out. Well, we made it back out here to the field. We'll continue planting the corn. I expressed an interest in wanting to try this for myself, but Sven wasn't having any of it. He's not too confident that I could pull it off yet. But that's okay. I'll just ride along and keep trying to learn from him as best I can. I'm sure that eventually he'll trust me enough that he'll allow me to do this, but until that time comes, I'm just going to ride along and learn from the best, I guess. Oops. Alright, well, a couple more passes and we'll be done with the south end of this field. Head up to the northern end. Sven hasn't told me exactly what we're going to be doing once we get finished with that, but I'm sure we'll figure something out, because there's always plenty of work to be done. But like I said, we'll finish up this part and we'll be on our way. It doesn't appear that we're planting anything else. I'm going to get out and check and see. Well, the seed tank is empty, so we're going to have to take this back to the farm, refill that, and then come back out to... We got one more pass on the southern end of the field, and then we got to finish up the northern end. So we'll take care of that stuff. Okay, back out here in the field, we got just a little bit more to clean up down here on the southern end of this field. We'll head up to the northern end, and that'll be it for planting corn for this year. I was talking to Sven as we were refilling this seed tank about how there had to be a better way to get seeds out on the field rather than having to run back and forth to the farm every time that he was empty. What he told me was that before they had the money to set up the seed deliveries, what they would do is he'd have Olga or Vladimir drive the front loader out there with a trailer full of pallets of seed. Obviously that was pretty much an inconvenience as well. So they kind of stopped doing that once they were able to set up the seed deliveries. They didn't want to deal with the pallets anymore. But obviously now he sees that there's a need for something else, some other way to get seeds out to the field, because he's wasting a lot of time just trying to go back and forth between, especially this field, because it's so big. So he wasn't really expecting that, or didn't think about how he was going to handle that. So maybe later this year sometime we'll take a look at some other way to do that. He doesn't have a whole lot of planting left for this year, so he's not too worried about it, but maybe that's something that he could look at through the fall and winter time frame, and have something set up ready for next year's planting season. But there's just got to be a better way than going back and forth. Maybe there's some sort of trailer or wagon or something that you can get. Obviously, with the amount of money that he's being paid and is going to continue receiving, he's going to have plenty of money to buy lots of new equipment and things of that nature. So we'll figure something out, or he'll figure something out if I'm not here to help. And up here on the north end of this field, we got just a few more passes, and we'll be done with planting corn for this year. This is the biggest field he owns, and he's going to be able to get a lot of corn off of this. Should make some good pig food for him. So I was talking to him, and he said that's the plan for most of it, is to make most of this corn into pig food, and whatever he doesn't need for his pigs he's going to sell. Like I said, he's only got 10 pigs, I think he said he's got left after that harsh winter last year. So we're definitely going to look into possibly getting him some more pigs. That's kind of what he likes to do. That's what he enjoys, is raising pigs, and then once they get large enough, he sells them off to slaughter. But he can't really do that with only 10 of them. He won't have enough to mate and to make new pigs, and they won't grow big fast enough for him to be able to sell them for slaughter. So I think here in the next few days or so, we're probably going to take a trip to the livestock market and see if we can't pick up some more pigs for him. I'll talk to my contacts here in country and see if we can't get a little stipend of money up front, and maybe an advance to help him out, because honestly, him and Olga have been absolutely amazing these first couple of days that I've been here, and they've definitely taken care of me, and it's much more than I could have expected. They could have just thrown me out in a barn somewhere and said, hey, stay there until we need you, but they didn't do that. So they brought me in and gave me a spare room in their house, always more than willing to have a hot meal ready. And Sven has definitely been a great teacher in all this farming stuff. So even though he doesn't quite trust me yet with the planting machines, he's been absolutely amazing at teaching me, and I've been willing to learn. So maybe I can get them some extra money, and we can get some new tools, maybe some more pigs, maybe a planter with a larger seed tank. I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. We're almost finished with this whole field. This took forever. This literally took all day to get done. We just got a couple more passes left, and I'm not sure that we're going to be able to do anything else. I was talking to Sven, and basically what he wants to do is finish this field for today, and then I think we're going to hang it up. We're going to call it a night. I think the plan tomorrow is going to be to spray a couple fields and possibly start mowing. He's got to go check his grass fields and see if those are grown enough in order to be able to cut. And if that's the case, then he's going to show me how to run the mower or the loading wagon that he's got, so that we can get some stuff cleaned up. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe run the baler. I don't know if he wants to do bales or what we're gonna do with the grass once it gets cut, but we'll see. Okay, last little pass on this side of the field, and it'll be done. We gotta clean up some areas at the other end where Sven didn't quite get it perfect, so we're gonna head down there and clean up that end and take it home. Pretty productive day. We got the rest of this field, we got this whole field cultivated and planted. Probably would have liked to get a little bit more done, but Vladimir still hasn't shown up yet. I'm sure Olga's starting to get a little worried because he's usually not gone for very long, but with the way that he left yesterday, Sven doesn't seem to care very much. He pretty upset at the way he just left his tractor in the field and said to hell with it and left. So like I said before, it's going to be an interesting conversation when he gets back. And this will put the finishing touches on this big field. All the corn is in the ground right now. Now that everything's planted, Sven is going to ride with me. He wants me to try and put this away. Most of the machinery, or the only machinery that I've really been driving with, has been the cultivator and the fertilizer, which are directly attached to the back of the trailer, or to the back of the tractor. They don't move at all when you're backing up or trying to turn a corner. So this is a little bit more interesting. I'm gonna have to take it really slow through the farmyard here. I know I had some practice yesterday with the water trailer, but that's not nearly as expensive piece of equipment as this planting machine is. So we'll take it nice and easy through the farmyard here. We'll get this thing put away, and then the plan is to call it a night when we'll pick it up again in the morning. I know Sven's gonna watch with great intensity on how I back this thing up. Almost hit the pole there. Good thing I was paying attention. Look at that. It fits like a glove. I think we're gonna drive down here and put the tractor away and go see what Olga's up to. Okay, well, Olga whipped us up a nice dinner. Just kind of been hanging out and conversing with the family. Obviously, Vladimir still hasn't come back yet, so that wasn't an awkward situation. But we had a nice dinner, and Sven and I are going to come out here and just sit down and kind of enjoy the evening and just kind of talk a little bit, get to know each other. I know we spent a lot of time in the tractor together today, but he was pretty focused on making sure he planted the corn correctly, and we didn't really get a chance to get to know each other. So we're gonna do that now. We're gonna hang out here for a couple hours, probably drink some cold ones, enjoy a nice evening out here, and we're gonna pick it up tomorrow. We got some spraying that he's gonna show me how to use that sprayer, which should be fun. That looks like a really interesting piece of equipment. And then we'll take a trip out and take a look at the grass to see if that's ready to be mowed yet or not. And so he showed me on a little PDA thing that he's got. I'll show you guys real quick what he's got going on. So he's got this little app thing. I don't know what kind of piece of equipment it is, but it shows all the fields in the area, and specifically his. It shows what he's planted on each one of them. This is the most high-tech thing that he's got, obviously. You can see field 22 there is the one that we just got finished today. 25, he's got sugar beets on. Barley on 6. Soybeans on 4. And wheat on 1. The other cool thing that this does is it also shows you what's been fertilized in blue. So each one of these has 1 stage of fertilizer. Sven tells me we need 3 on each one of these fields. Three fertilizer applications, so all of them have 1 so far. And then this also shows you the growth state of each one, which is kind of cool. That's something else that he was able to purchase with the money that he's been given so far. It's kind of a cool app. It did take him a while to figure out how to use it and to figure out all the nuances of it, because there's not very much technology out here in the middle of nowhere. But so we're gonna sit here tonight and we're just gonna kind of shoot the breeze and enjoy some drinks, and we'll call it a night. We'll pick it up again tomorrow, so we'll see you then. Have a good night.